Hey guys, what is going on? This is Ip of RageQuitTV, gonna be casting a game between Liquid Taeja and a Barcoded Zerg player. It is a ZVT on Korhal compounds, and I have no clue who the Zerg player is, but this is top master play, so he's gotta be good. Additionally, you wouldn't have a Barcoded name unless you were a professional player because you just want to be anonymous. That's what this name gives you. Let's say, for instance, MVP was playing on his regular account, and he got matched up against Startail Purting. Purting then would tell Squirtle what build MVP did to him in the ladder because, well, it's so close to the GSL Finals. Chances are he's going to be using that build in the finals because why would you be practicing a build you're not going to be using? That would just be silly and a waste of practice. So then Squirtle knows what to expect one of the games in the GSL final series. So that's why they go on these Barcode names, just to keep their play a little bit hidden. Additionally, you do have players like Flash that just don't want people to know that they're playing him while he's learning StarCraft 2, so he also goes on those anonymous names. But yeah, if you want really a good player, I don't know why you'd have one, especially this high in the ladder, so we can be certain this is a good Zerg. Who it is, we can't be certain, but we just know he is pretty darn good. He is matched up against Taeja. Taeja going to be building a 12 rack, so he is not going to go for a command center first. And the Zerg player will most likely go for a 15 hatch. The drone is going out to scout, actually, and I really don't like that scouting. There's a large chance this is going to tell you nothing, because Taeja could wall this off, which I guess tells you that it's not going to be a 2 racks. Additionally, you can see the barracks finish at 145 and say, okay, it's not a gas first. Yes, there is scouting information you can get when you do get walled out. But chances are you're not going to get that good of information because that is still a little bit of an assumption. Say it's not a 2 racks. I see the second supply depot up. It could be like a 6 racks incoming, which isn't really that common since TLO doesn't play Terran anymore. But there are things like that. It looks like the drone is going to be coming in, and Taeja does not get the wall up, so we'll see exactly what he is doing. No gas just yet, so it looks like Taeja is going to go for a command center first. There we go. This SCV is down there, mines his minerals while he waits, and the command center does plop on down. This one SCV is going to go out to scout, so the drone, by luck, does get into Taeja's base and see exactly what's going on. But that's why a lot of Terran players send out their drone scout. Not a lot of Terran. A lot of foreign players send out their drone scout around 13 supply, so they can actually see that happening. Or get in before the wall goes up. We do have Taeja now going by that one gas, sees that 100 hasn't been mined, so he should go back momentarily and just check if the drones are still on gas after that 100 does get mined to know if a lot of aggression is going to be coming on, because the Zerg did scout his 1 racks expo, so the Zerg does have a chance to go like a Roach Rush or maybe even Banelings to put pressure on this, and Taeja not going to be looking at that gas. We can see the Zerg player did pull 2 drones off gas, so it doesn't look like he's going to be aggressive, but Taeja right now just making the assumption that the Zerg player is playing standard, and when you make assumptions like that, that's how you lose games. You just get surprised by when the 7 roaches do come. So I really don't like this by Taeja not checking that gas for the second time just to see if they are still mining it or not. Would have been no risk to this one SCV. I mean, if he died by Lings, that would be so odd. And he knows something is coming just because you wouldn't build Lings that early. We do have 2 Lings coming out, and they will be moving across the map. Speed is on the way. Taeja does have 4 Marines, 3 racks going up, and a double gas around 5 minutes. And the Zerg player is at 30 supply, so around 45 supply. He should be taking his gases and start going up to lair. I don't know exactly if it's going to be 45 because he's still mining 1 drone on this gas. It could be around 50 gas. We'll see exactly when that is. And his next 100 gas should be used to get a lair, possibly. Or maybe he's just going to go a 3rd base first, but we'll see exactly how he ends up playing this out. Does have 14 Lings on the way, so he will be putting on pressure. And Taeja, will he be ready for this? Yeah, he will. He is getting those racks. 2, unfortunately, are getting add-ons right now, but he should have more than enough to deal with this with the bunker going up. Does see it thanks to the watchtower, and those 3 Lings gonna be, actually only 1 goes down. Very nice job by the Zerg player. They're pulling back in the correct time, and now Taeja is gonna have to defend against all of these Lings. Some nice stutter stepping going down, and it looks like Taeja is gonna hold this. Doesn't even need the bunker, but he gets in anyway. And now those Zerglings can go to the middle line. Doesn't look like they were that successful, but they did kill a handful of Taeja's army. He did see that Marine count kind of go up, so he knows there's more Marines behind this. And additionally, what that also does, he killed a lot of Marines, so he can safely take a third base right now because Taeja cannot move across the map. So we'll see if he ends up going to take a third base. Those are Lings moving across. The Overlord in a little bit of an odd spot. Looking at this, maybe just keep an eye on this one gas. I would much prefer it to be right here so I can see when Taeja moves out, but it looks like he used that purpose for Ling. Third base does get put up, so he knows, okay, I did kill Taeja's army. Have a few Lings to see if Taeja does move out, but I should be safe. Taeja keeping his Marines split up just in case Banelings did come by. That was a handful of Lings to send so early. And there we go, just splitting them up even more to be safe against any Baneling play. 34 drones to the 37 SCVs. And a Baneling's nest is going up. We don't have the lair started yet, and this is a relatively late lair. And he is getting more gases right now. 3 gases on the way as he does go up to those Banelings, starting on this Crete spread. And the Banelings will be good against Taeja's mass Marines, and maybe that's why he's getting, because he put on the pressure, saw that Marine count grow since the last time he scouted, says, okay, you got to be doing mainly just bio plays, so I'm going to get Banelings because that is pretty darn good against them, but delaying the layers so much, don't really like that, because Taeja is getting stim that is almost complete, and you really need speed Banelings against stimmed Marines. If you don't, then Taeja's just going to have a field day, force targeting all your Banelings down. They will do absolutely no damage. Additionally, Taeja's units will be split up so easily because, again, not speed Banelings. So we'll see if Taeja does move out relatively soon, as his stim is about 30 seconds from completion. Is he going to be moving out? And it doesn't look like that, but he still may. He just wouldn't get to the base as stim finishes. He would be leaving his base when stim finishes. Most likely, this will be some sort of stim timing. He does have a handful of Marines out, 28 Marines to the 16 now, 26 Zerglings. So the Zerg player now starting to produce Lings instead of drones. He is at 51, so going to be cutting them right there. Handful of Banelings are morphing, 9 Banelings morphing. I don't know what he sees to morph those. That is a little bit of an early morph. This could be used on something else like Baneling speed right now, because he doesn't see Taeja move out. Taeja is moving out at the 10-minute mark. A lot of Tanners try to put pressure on at the 11 minutes, so maybe that's why these Banelings did morph, but that was a big assumption. And that Overlord does see now that all 4 gases are finally being taken. Also saw the timing of this third gas, which was relatively late, as Taeja is getting medevacs right now. And this looks like it's going to be a +1 weapons attack, not a stim, so I was wrong with the stim. It is going to be some type of timing, but the Zerg player just about done on this ground carapace. You can see that finishing in 4 seconds after +1 weapons finishes, so this +1 weapons won't be that effective. Taeja is keeping his unit split up, is putting a scan down to take out these creep tumors. And more Banelings are being morphed. That is 5, so that will bring the count up to 14. Taeja does have his third base done, not in an orbital command just yet, and a Spire is being built by the Zerg, and that is an odd call just because the Spire, I mean, it's good against not Marines. What's Taeja building? Only Marines, pretty much, so that Spire not going to be too effective. Infestation, but would be much, much better. Banelings are coming down. We'll see Taeja's force targeting right now. Does take 2 out immediately, and the Banelings decide to pull on back. The speed is about 20 seconds away from being completed. Taeja is leading the way with the Marauder, so he can absorb some damage. And it looks like the Marauder will not go down. And Taeja just going to be backing on off, going back into the drone count. 58 drones to 63 SCVs, so a Zerg player not doing the best job on getting drones. Generally see Zerg stopping around 60 to 70 drones. This Zerg is stopping just shy of, oh no, he's going up to 63, so looking like he is getting a lot more drones right now. Did just morph a lot of Banelings early, and I think that may be the cause of why he's so low in drones, but he is stacking 1100 as the Spire does finish, so expect a lot of mutas. However, the Marines are pretty well upgraded. +2 has started, and +1 armor are halfway done. So these mutas are not going to be really that effective against the Marines. Big transfer is going down. We do have Lings now coming on up. And they do see that and sees where the army is. He does have Banelings with speed now. Going to be waiting for this army. And then if the Marauders lead the way, the Banelings will have a tough time getting to the Marines. We will see those mutas now come out as they have been produced. Lings are going to go. Taeja is on the low ground. Very nice positioning from the Marines. The Banelings being sacrificed on the SCVs. I don't know if I like that at all. Has killed 6 workers. Lost a lot of Banelings doing that. 15 workers. But against what Taeja's doing is just pretty much pure Marine play, it's never really a smart idea to sacrifice your army to kill off workers, because they have this thing called mules, which will allow them to keep building Marines. Even if you kill all their workers off, they'll still be able to build a few Marines. What the workers allow them to do is start getting more expansions up, get more barracks, increase their infrastructure, increase their tech, do upgrades and such. But if you sacrifice your army, they're still getting an army, and they can get a really scary army and just do some type of timing attack because you sacrificed all your banelings on SCVs. So, not the smartest idea there, but it looks like he's okay. Taeja, though, still even in supply going up to this army supply. Taeja is ahead in the army. Workers, 61 SCVs, 62 SCVs, 267 drones. So Taeja, not even behind. He needed to kill off this army more than he needed to kill off those 19 SCVs. Because killing off the army would prevent Taeja from moving out and also allow the Zergs to start taking more bases. Another reason why I thought Infestors would be better. And here we go, Taeja is moving in. I mean, the Zerg player is moving in. Taeja is microing around. And with some really nice micro, there's Banelings staying on the low ground. And that was a mistake. Did not split those Banelings up. But those mutas will be more than enough to clean it up. And the Banelings, there were a lot of them. So, did easily clean that up. But again, going to this loss tab, we do see it about even. Zerg player isn't ahead on Econ, I want to say. 67 drones to 66 SCVs. Yeah, he isn't ahead, so he shouldn't be really satisfied about being just even. He needs to get better exchanges than that. These mutas need to be a little bit more aggressive, but how can you be aggressive against someone that has this many Marines, and the Marines are going to be well upgraded? Mutas at 1-0, Marines at 2-1 right now. And a +2 ground weapons and +1 flyer is on the way. Do we have a hive or anything of the sort? No, no hive, no infestation pit. Infestors should be coming out relatively soon. It is approaching 17 minutes into the game, and once these Marines start getting up to like the level 3 upgrades, you cannot defend this with just lair tech. So the Zerg player really needs to start going up into hive. We do have again Taeja pulling on back those Banelings going in, and they will be just taking out the Marines. We can see a beautiful split by Taeja. Now 3 Banelings left. Going to go back for those SVs. Killing another, I want to say, I don't know, it was 19 before you do the math. I'm too lazy in Novacast. The Zerg player is taking another expansion because he killed off the army. So every time you kill off a large portion of the Terran player's army, that allows you to take an expansion. If you kill off their workers, you can't really take an expansion because that's the time when they may just decide to go in for an all-in. Mutas trying to do what they can for harassment, not really doing all that much. 2-2, just about done. 2 on the weapon attack and 2 on the flyer. Still just morphing in Banelings, and even more Banelings are being morphed by a Zerg player. And I guess he's just saying, okay, well, I'm going to trade evenly against you and eventually drain you out of resources, because Terrans, they do mine minerals very quickly. So that is one thing the Zerg does have going for him. This Marine does go down to 3 drones. Spine Crawlers are going to be built at that 4th base. And Taeja looks like he is going to be putting on a little bit of pressure to these mutas, trying to find what they can do for harassment, but they just can't. Did I miss any infestation pit? No, I didn't. So the Zerg player definitely getting infestation pit extremely late. Well, he hasn't even got it yet, but it will be late if it goes in the 20-minute mark. These mutas are going to come in and do a little bit of economic harassment. Is pulling Taeja on back. That is good. So these mutas have accomplished something this game. Does pull Taeja back, and that's about it. All they do is delay. He isn't really getting anything behind this, though. He's delaying Taeja, but not really getting further ahead. He is getting more gases, so he will be on 8 gases. That does allow him to do any tech he wants, but he's not teching at this moment. However, 37 Banelings is nothing to laugh at, especially when Taeja doesn't have a single tank out. He is moving out with 10 Marines to try to take out this one base. Did stim on his way, and these Banelings are going to go clean those up very easily. Those Marines did literally no damage. Well, I guess those Banelings did go down, so they did do damage. The one thing Banelings suck at is being cost efficient, just because they're going to sacrifice their life anyways. 12 more Banelings on the way, so he is using a lot of gas and Banelings, but the infestation pit now just completing at the 20-50 minute Yeah, 20 minutes, 50 seconds, so he will be getting infested out shortly. Needs to start that fungal growth. Plus 3 armor is on the way for Taeja. Of course, the Zerg still stuck at 2-2 because the Infestation Pit just finished. The Hive did not start. And these mutas just flying around, trying to do what they can. But again, Taeja has the counter mutas and a lot of it. 88 Marines out on the map, 106 Lings, and 46 Banelings. So that is a lot of Banelings to have to worry about. Just to put in perspective, here are the Banelings. Taeja's moving out with a handful of Marines, this time not stimming them beforehand. Is going to be taking his 4th base. A Ling does see this as his natural does get mined out, so he needs to take that base so he can keep on mining off of 2 bases. The Zerg player has money at his 3rd, natural, 4th. And those Marines are going down to Banelings, but they do get a really good split. And this one Queen will be falling. Mutas are coming, and that is a lot of mutas. And these Marines underneath will not be enough to take them out, but at the same time, Taeja is going to be moving on ahead, leading with his Marauders, picking off Creep Tumors. Now the Marines are going to start picking off Overlords, but here come the Banelings! And Taeja's going to have to get some beautiful Marine split off right here to deal with all those Banelings. And Fester's now out, 8 on the way. I think he has Fallen Growth. I'm not 100% positive. I'm assuming he does since he did wait so long. And Taeja is getting a stim off. Stimmed everything right there. These mutas, looks like they harassed this one base. And was infestation, but really fast. Does have pathogen glands. Muta's going to try to do what harassment they can, but again, they can't really do all that much. I mean, Mutas would be good if Taeja was building tanks. At least then they have a chance of picking off things. Maybe they got this one gas. Not a big deal to Taeja. Taeja's not really using gas. As you do see him stacking up 1,700. Banelings and Mutas now coming in. And Marines are going to be here to deal with that. Banelings do have to immediately back on off. And Taeja is gearing up to take out this 4th base. But there are Infestors here now. 5 of them. So that will be very nice. These Mutas still just trying to do damage, going up into the worker killed. 59 so far. Taeja is at 39 workers. But again, Taeja is maxed. And because he's so low on workers, his army is 30 supply ahead of the Zerg. However, again, the Zerg kind of has the counter to Taeja's army, both Infestors and Banelings. Just because Taeja's ahead does not mean he has a good chance of winning this fight. He is going to send a handful of units out here. This one Infestor does enough energy to shoot off one Fallen Growth. Is he going to get it? Because the Zerg player is focused right here. That base goes down immediately. And all those Banelings still alive and still plenty of them left. Huge Fallen Growth right here, taking out a handful of Marines. And now getting more Fallen Growths just on absolutely everything. The Zerg is in such a good position to defend against this. Maybe not as the Infestors are out of energy. And he's got to go around that corner. I misspoke there. Taeja did take out this one base over here. And so now it is on 3 base versus 3 base. Both players mining off just 1 base. Taeja landing a lot of mules right now, so he's going to have a lot of mineral income. 3-3 on the way for the Zerg is going up for an Ultralisk Cavern. And this is a questionable call. The Zerg player, though, is banking a lot of minerals. Taeja does have units on the high ground right now, so he can't pick up this infestor like he did last time. But those Banelings do not want to go up against those Marines when they were split that well beforehand. And these drones trying to find a way to go back home. I have no clue what they were thinking. Still just 2-2 for the Lings, not getting the Adrenal Gland upgrade for them. A little bit of a mistake, but maybe he doesn't have... No, he does have the money. He's banking plenty. What am I talking about? But these mutas still can't really do all that much damage. And the 4th base now going up yet again for a Zerg player at a new base. This has not been mined yet. Mutas still just flying around doing what they can. But again, that is a lot of mules, and Taeja's mineral income is so high, except he is not building anything. Going over the mineral income, you can see 17,000. And he's still keeping that minerals low. Just because, again, mule's pretty good, and he has a lot of barracks beforehand. Mutas flying over top Marines, and they do get pretty much taken out. Only 3 mutas left. 3 mutas can't do anything. He may be better off just sacrificing these, going into the main, attacking something. Make sure Taeja can't move out. I guess the only purpose now would be bait on Baneling landmines, but a Zerg player not getting Burrow. as we did see Koka against Taeja in the Korean Weekly use Baneling landmines very well. But this Zerg player opting not to do it. A little bit odd since he does have Infestors. Bird play makes Infestors so good. Taeja just stepping up a few units, going to try to take out one Infestor. Does get one for a Marauder and 2 Marines. That is a very nice trade. Ultralights are now out. And there's Ultras maybe a little bit of an odd choice just because Taeja is ahead on upgrades and is getting Marauders anyways. So if Taeja attacks right now, these Ultralisks may just melt before that chitinous plating and +3 do finish. Taeja, though, is pulling back, just happy with what he has right now, apparently. Does he know about the 4th base? No, he doesn't, but he should assume there is a 4th base. It's a little bit odd. I don't know. I was about to say it's odd that Taeja isn't floating off his command centers going elsewhere, but he is. This command center going over there. This looks like the main maybe is the one that went to this 3rd base. Actually, that is the 4th base of Taeja. But anyways, with Zerg taking yet another base, so he is going to be going up on 5 bases. Taeja is up against the corner right now. He's got to hold on, but the Zerg player does have a pretty scary army. 3-3 now done for the Zerg as well. Fungal Growths are going down. Ultra's doing a lot of damage, actually. And they are soaking up damage as all the Banelings did come in, pick off a lot of those Marines. And again, without any tanks, it's pretty hard to kill those Banelings. And when you get Fungal Growth, it's pretty hard to split those Marines. Yet again, another Fungal Growth is going down. Taeja does get slaughtered. He is going to be picking up in a medevac. 2 mutas are going to come out and threaten that 1 medevac. And now Taeja is going to be taking out, losing his 3rd base. It looks like it is all over. 131 supply, 255 supply. And this pure bio play, not so good when it comes to the late game. And there goes the GG. We can watch that battle yet again, real fast. That big battle over in the main. Let's see, it should be around here. Let's just fast forward a little bit. He's going to be pulling back. And let's see exactly what happens, because that was really hard to catch. Taeja is split up right now. So keep an eye on these Marines. They are now selected so you can see Fungal Growths or Baneling hits. So you can see Fungal's going down. Pretty good Marine splits. But you can see the Fungal just catching groups of Marines. Ultralists just finishing the job. It's not really the Banelings. It was mainly those Ultras combined with the Fungal Growths and the lack of tanks to take them out. So, very well played by the Zerg player. I think Taeja needed a transition. I mean, I was on the Zerg player so hard, like, saying he needs to transition. He needs to get off the mutas. This is a late layer. This is a late hive. But in reality, I didn't even talk about Taeja failing to transition out of just pure bio play. I mean, it's just proven that no matter what, bio play 30 minutes into the game, unless you're hyper aggressive doing a lot of drops, which for some reason Taeja doesn't do all that much. I don't know him that well as a dropping Terran. I know him as a multi-pronged attack Terran, but that doesn't mean he does a lot of drops. Especially in TVP, I don't think I see him do all that many drops. He's more of just a macro/micro Terran instead of a harassment-based one. But you get to the late game, you have all these Marines, you have a larger supply, and then Fungal Growths come, you can't move, Ultralists cleave you down. It's just a brutal situation. Also, that medevac count was low, wasn't it? He should have, going just bioplay, I'd say at least 12 medevacs. He's only got 5. Only 5 medevacs, and that could also be part of the reason. If he had more medevacs, like 12 or 13, then his units would just be healed through the Fungal Growths, and then be able to take out those Ultras, possibly. So, low medevac count, pure bio, no tech whatsoever in the army. Taeja, of course, does get melted. And, we'll go SE2 gears, look at the injects, and look very briefly. But it is MLG, and I want to get back to watching that. So, injects going to the 10-minute mark. We do have 11.1 seconds going into the units tab. Actually, I want to see something. Not the units. It does look pretty cool. But, let's Let's build tech. Let's go. Trains. Bam, bam. Drone. What? Why didn't that work? Isn't it train drone? Filter actions. Drone. Not showing me anything. Marine? Oh, I don't have workers. Duh. There we go. Drone. So we can see the Zerg player definitely does cut a lot of workers. Or he did. Of course, we knew that because he was behind. But this does give you an idea of his workers getting cut. And we'll look at the SCVs of Taeja, see if he ever cut any. Right here, that looks like it was a mistake. But not really. Look at his Marine production. So we want to look at 1334. 20, he's probably maxed right there, but 1330, around 13 minutes we want to look at. Was he supply capped? What was happening then? We'll find out. Again, I just do this to kind of mask how long the game is, and also teach you guys how to use SC2 gears. If I'm looking at the pros, trying to analyze their games with it, you can use those same things to analyze your games. Of course, you will always be able to find mistakes. If I can find a few mistakes in these pros, you'll just always be able to find them. So, right here, Taeja isn't going to be building any Marines. So his macro actually slips right here for 1330. So, let's see. Slips for about one production cycle, it looks. So he's not going to build another Marine right now. We'll see when the next one starts. That was 1330. Does get 2 Marauders. So, about 20 seconds, 23 seconds. Marines 25. Yeah, 25. So about a production cycle does get missed by Taeja right there during that engagement. Very minor. But yeah, just kind of how to use SC2 gears and how you should be using it. Again, whenever you want to filter things like I do, if you want to look at workers, make sure you check workers. But additionally, make sure you check this one thing down here. If you don't check that, then it won't filter. So, pretty simple. Let's look at how many Marines Taeja built, and then we will call it a day. $471. That is a lot of Marines. 356 Zerglings. See, we can get rid of the buildings research. Ability groups, you can see Taeja not really doing anything. 9 scans. Yeah, 34 mules. 25 fungals. But the main thing, actually, how many banelings were morphed? 178 baneling morphs. That is a lot of banelings. 471 Marines, though. That is a lot of Marines. Only 22 medevacs throughout that entire game. 54 Marauders, 7 Ultras, 18 Infestors, 36 Mutas. So maybe the Mutas actually killed off medevacs, but only at 22. I don't think that's the case. I mean, how long does a medevac take to build? Actually, we can even look. We don't have to do that. I was going to try to do math, but we have SC2 gears. We don't have to do that. We can go back to this builds tech, filter action, medevac, and here we go. Medevac start right here. You can see no medevacs, no medevacs, no medevacs. So definitely cut a lot of medevacs. So I hope you enjoyed the cast. Take care, guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh, enjoy MLG. Peace out.